What if the heartbeat of forbidden love pulsed not in grand declarations, but in the stolen glances across enemy lines, echoing the tragic whispers of Romeo and Juliet amid feuding houses, or the clandestine rendezvous of spies in World War II's fog-shrouded alleys, where the metallic bite of betrayal mingles with the sweet ache of devotion? In Episode 3 of Cat's Eye, 2025, released on October 10, 2025, we delve further into the Kisugi sisters' twilight tango of theft and tenderness, a natural escalation from the prior episode's shadowy setups. Feel the cool leather of disguises clinging to your skin, the distant hum of museum alarms vibrating through your bones like a lover's urgent plea, as Hitomi, Rue, and AI orchestrate a daring lift, not for glory, but for fragments of a fractured past, their movements a silent symphony of risk and regret. This installment weaves intimacy into intrigue, yet conceals its most piercing truths. What sacrifices bind blood to duty, and how might a single confession redraw the boundaries of allegiance? You're there, shadows dancing on marble floors, the faint scent of oil paints stirring memories unbidden. Yet the full embrace? It eludes like a phantom's touch, drawing you inexorably to the screen, to clasp the revelations that pulse just beneath the surface, evolving from the previous episode's establishment of the sisters' dual existence. Cafe charm masking masterful larceny, with hints of paternal mysteries. This chapter thrusts them into a personal crossroads, akin to the moral quandaries in the talented Mr. Ripley's Deceptive Webs, or a Prohibition-era caper where family ties tighten the noose. The trio eyes a paternal artwork in a fortified gallery, their scheme complicated by AI's budding romance with a guard's son, whose father's livelihood hangs in the balance amid whispers of internal sabotage. Gadgets whir and fists fly in a choreography of cunning, exposing rot within the institution while securing their prize, much like Robin Hood's redistributive raids in folklore's Greenwood. Bonds fray and mend in the heat of pursuit, culminating in a revelation that reframes romantic entanglements with poignant clarity. But why does affection's shadow loom over every heist, and what hidden pacts might unravel the trio's unity? The tension mounts, immersing you in the gallery's echoing halls where spotlights pierce the gloom and hearts race in tandem, compelling you to chase the echoes, to stand guard in the fray and unearth the harmonies that mere words cannot convey. The plot prowls with escalating elegance, advancing the familial quest by intertwining personal stakes with professional peril, much like the intensifying cat and mouse in Catch Me, If You Can, where deception yields unexpected truths. Revelations illuminate backstories. Hitomi's enduring bond with Detective Toshio traces to high school days, a twist that humanizes their adversarial dance without overt drama, while the episode ends on a cliffhanger tease of tightening suspicions that could ensnare the sisters. Pacing achieves a lithe equilibrium, blending high-octane action with introspective pauses. No hurried sprints, but a balanced gait akin to a noir film's deliberate unfolds. Dramatic harmony persists, heist thrills offset by relational depths, though the resolution's convenience echoes contrived escapes in classic capers. Addressing fan-perplexed, cloudy aspects, what constitutes the sisters' no excessive violence rule? Why the emotional flatness in reconciliations? The manga, Chapter 3, Do You Like Blondes? Adapted here, elucidates. The code permits physical incapacitation sans lasting harm, a moral boundary rooted in their father's pacifist ethos, detailed through extended flashbacks that amplify AI's anguish and the sisters' tearful mending, absent in the anime for brevity but adding psychological weight. Toshio's obliviousness stems from manga-established affection blindness, a comedic foil that foreshadows karmic ironies, providing context that elevates the animation's ambiguities into intentional contrasts, enriching the remake's modern sheen with source fidelity. Characters unfurl with evocative layers, their psyches as intricate as those in Fitzgerald's tales of concealed longings. Hitomi deepens into a vortex of conflicted loyalty, her motivations a blend of filial quest and genuine affection, choices surprising in their vulnerability, transformative as she navigates love's peril, consistent yet evolving from guarded thief to emotionally exposed woman. Rue radiates strategic calm, masking protective scars from their orphaned past. AI embodies youthful turbulence, her growth manifesting in romantic naivety clashing with sibling duty, surprising in her gadgetry ingenuity. Toshio harbors earnest wounds of unrequited pursuit, his dialogues consistent in dogged resolve yet hinting at subconscious complicity. AI's suitor, inspired by Toshio, adds mirrored innocence. Their arcs a mosaic of convergence, like star-crossed pairs in West Side Story defying divided worlds, surprising pivots where emotion trumps plan, fostering bonds ripe for future turmoil. Philosophically, the episode probes the chasm between duty and desire, power residing in reclaimed heritage, not plunder, manifesting in the sisters' heists as beacons of hope amid despair's gallery, questioning if morality bends for survival, as in the artifact artifact hunters of post-war Europe salvaging identity through shadowed means. Sacrifice emerges in AI's ethical qualms, risking kin for personal ties. Hope versus despair in exposés that rectify wrongs while perpetuating crime. World-building subtly augments with artistic lineages, enriching the universe like cryptic codes in the name of the rose, complicating it with Nazi-era echoes that layer theft with historical gravity. Dialogue slinks with witty precision, sharp as a cat's claw yet infused with emotional undercurrents, occasionally touching cliché and banter, but impactful in its sincerity. Lines on destined paths resonate like Bogart's farewells in Casablanca, foreshadowing entanglements and lingering as echoes of bittersweet resolve. In gadget-lit hideouts, words carry the electric buzz of invention, immersing you. Hear the sibling spat crackling like static in a storm-swept attic. Feel the warmth of confessions thawing your resolve as eyes meet in silent pact. What vow would you whisper in Hitomi's veil, facing the mirror of your own divided loyalties? This linguistic prowess heightens suspense, each quip a snare, fueling curiosity. Will these admissions forge unbreakable chains or snap under scrutiny, beckoning you to delve and discern the discourse's destiny? Animation gleams with polished finesse, art direction harnessing midnight indigos and amber glows to symbolize veiled affections, much like the moody palettes in Sin City underscoring moral twilight. Fluidity enlivens pursuits, symbolism in quivering shadows and poised artworks contrasting dynamic dodges, where beauty embodies the fragile artistry of concealed hearts, not superficial gloss, but the haunting allure of pieced-together souls. Direction deploys sweeping tracks during heists to evoke entrapment's thrill, compositions isolating figures amid vast exhibits, editing rhythms throbbing like a pursued pulse, swift for evasion, deliberate for tender revelations, amplifying inner tempests. The soundtrack stealths as a seductive shadow, its motifs, sultry saxophones swelling to urgent strings, haunting infiltrations and elevating disclosures, searing into memory like John Barry's espionage strains. Crescendos accentuate exposures, while silence thunders in relational pauses, louder than alarms, underscoring unspoken yearnings. Voice acting incarnates turmoil. Hitomi's Siyu infuses timbre with shy tremor, intensity capturing a soul torn by affection. AI's youthful fervor quivers with indignation. Their deliveries envelop you in the intrigue, as if the whispers echo in your own concealed chambers. Emotionally, this episode inscribes a resonant scar of yearning, sparks of wonder at love's defiant bloom. Imagine the flutter in your core as paths diverge yet entwine, akin to the poignant partings in Dr. Zhivago's Snowy Expanses, or the tender triumphs of forbidden bonds in historical romances. Pivotal intersections collide like fates in a moonlit maze, a schism where masks slip and trajectories pivot irrevocably, evoking, what shadows of love do we chase through our own deceptions, and what illuminations await in their embrace? I felt a visceral pang for the sisters' tangled devotions, a glow from their resilient triad, echoes that linger like faded brushstrokes. Yet, reversing the perspective, seeming shortcomings reveal artistry. The contrived resolutions, often deemed plot armor, mirror thematic serendipity, a stylistic homage to genre's whimsical escapes, like fortuitous twists in pulp adventures. Opacity and moral boundaries may confound, but reframes as deliberate ambiguity, prompting viewer introspection. Inconsistent visuals and backgrounds temper polish, though balanced by the episode's heartfelt authenticity and kinetic energy. In essence, Episode 3 captivates through relational nuance and heist verve, its minor contrivances eclipsed by profound character interplay, succeeding masterfully in blending nostalgia with fresh. Have you ever teetered on the precipice of exposure, like Mata Hari weaving deceptions in wartime salons where a single misplaced glance could unravel your meticulously crafted identity, the faint aroma of perfume betraying secrets in the air thick with suspicion, and the cool press of a hidden lens capturing the fragile line between familial loyalty and the sacrifice of one's true self? Cat's Eye 2025, Episode 4 delves into that electrifying tension of veiled truths and daring gambits, where the glow of a precinct's fluorescent lights casts accusatory shadows, foreshadowing a philosophical tangle of justice's blindness and thievery's clever illusions. Released on October 17, 2025, this installment intensifies the sisters' arc of paternal reclamation, bridging earlier cafe capers to heightened police scrutiny amid escalating heists. I personally was struck by its pulse-pounding cleverness, a narrative that stations you in a bustling police precinct, the metallic clink of handcuffs echoing like impending doom, the subtle hum of surveillance vibrating through the walls. Yet it conceals the full web of deceptions, leaving you to inhale the intrigue of forged alibis. But what if one inquisitive gaze pierces the veil of normalcy? Don't you long to lurk in those shadowed corners yourself, heart thudding, to discern if sisterly bonds can outweat the unyielding grip of suspicion? Episode 4 escalates the feline intrigue intrigue into a high-stakes game of wits, reminiscent of the intellectual duels in The Silence of the Lambs where predators and pursuers circle in psychological tension. As a sharp new detective probes the Kisugi sisters' double life amid a daring art theft, transitioning from the previous episode's nocturnal triumphs, where clever ruses preserve their anonymity while advancing their quest. This chapter introduces formidable opposition, blending precinct politics with innovative countermeasures that propel toward deeper conspiracies. Imagine yourself in a dimly lit interrogation room, the bitter taste of overbrewed coffee on your tongue, dossiers flipping like pages of fate as accusations fly, yet masterful diversions and technological sleights leave trails of doubt. What concealed vulnerability threatens to unravel the thieves' flawless facade? The episode dangles that peril, curiosity clawing insistently, compelling you to witness if one flaw in the plan could shatter their unbreakable unity. Episode 4 propels the narrative forward by introducing a formidable antagonist who heightens the cat-and-mouse dynamic, advancing the sisters' paternal art recovery quest through a layered heist that incorporates modern tech twists like deepfakes and pre-recorded alibis, culminating in a cliffhanger that teases ongoing surveillance and potential exposure. Key revelations spotlight the precinct's internal leaks and the sisters' proactive espionage, with a pivotal twist in the alibi's seamless execution that outfoxes scrutiny, while pacing balances procedural buildup in the station with swift, acrobatic action during the theft, achieving dramatic equilibrium that sustains tension without lag. Fans often grapple with cloudy aspects such as the new Detective Asatani's swift yet seemingly gullible defeat. Why does her cybersecurity expertise falter against the sisters' ruse? And the legality of her invasive cafe confrontation. Drawing from Tsukasa Hojo's original manga Volume 1, specifically adapting elements from chapters 4 to 6, blended with episode 4's The Challenger Smells Like Paris from the 1983 anime, Asatani's failure is a deliberate narrative irony. In the manga, her introduction emphasizes initial overconfidence leading to underestimation of the thieves' ingenuity, here updated with deepfakes to fit 2025 sensibilities, clarifying that her near success, spotting discrepancies, underscores the sisters' evolving tactics rather than her incompetence. The confrontation's ambiguity stems from manga-era procedural leniency, adapted to highlight themes of hunch-driven justice versus ethical boundaries, providing context that her stakeout serves as a catalyst for future alliances, transforming the animated segment from contrived escape to a bridge toward character-driven conflicts. The Kisugi sisters radiate deepened synergy. Rue's seductive poise masks strategic brilliance. Hitomi's agility conceals jealous vulnerabilities akin to Uncharted emotions, and AI's tech prowess reveals a playful yet protective core. Their choice is consistent in calculated risks yet transformative in collaborative innovation that fosters growth beyond individual flair. Toshio's endearing obliviousness unveils motivational desperation for validation, surprising in dialogues that blend defensiveness with unwitting heroism. Asatani emerges as a layered rival, her overzealous probing revealing wounds of professional isolation. Were these consistent? Utterly, yet surprising in how Hitomi's jealousy evolves from comedic aside to a poignant assertion of boundaries, peeling psychological layers like veils in a master thief's disguise. The episode probes the duality of pursuit. What if morality's line blurs in the shadows of restitution, like Robin Hood's thefts challenging feudal injustice, where hope wrestles despair through clever deceptions? Themes manifest in the sisters' alibis, symbolizing sacrifices clever masks amid survival's games, questioning power's abuse in Asatani's overreach, while balancing familial hope against ethical despair. These resonate through struggles, echoing historical art heists tied to wartime restitutions, drawing you to introspect. Haven't you donned masks to reclaim what's lost, teetering between deception's thrill and truth's unyielding gaze? New lore enriches Tokyo's underbelly. Updated elements like hidden cameras and deepfakes complicate the 1980s-inspired universe, blending retro heist mechanics with modern surveillance to heighten tension, evoking a timeless playground where technology amplifies moral ambiguities without overwhelming the intimate sibling focus. The script gleams with sly precision, poetic in its banter, lines of accusation carry the edge of Hitchcock's interrogations, foreshadowing rivalries while lingering like whispers in a stakeout van. Impactful sans clichés, dialogues evoke the verbal spars of Catch Me If You Can, as if you're huddled in the precinct shadows, words heavy with suspicion. Doesn't their sharpness fuel a curiosity that demands you listen closer? Animation from Leiden Films pulses with sleek modernity, art direction fusing neon vibrancy with shadowy noir where lighting fractures alibis like cracked glass. Not mere style, but a visual allegory for truth's elusive shards. Stillness in stakeouts erupts into fluid acrobatics, shaping suspenseful release. Direction deploys voyeuristic angles to mirror surveillance paranoia, compositions framing confrontations like tense film noir close-ups, editing rhythms rhythms accelerating to heartbeat sync in deceptions. The soundtrack haunts as a synth noir accomplice, motifs of pulsating beats elevating ruses, crescendos searing escapes into memory, silences and revelations thundering louder than footsteps. Voice acting in chance. Yoko Hikasa's Asatani delivers with crisp tremor, embodying a soul's unyielding probe. The sisters' cast infuses harmonious intensity, their timbres a velvet chorus of secrecy. This episode stirred an exhilarating blend of mischief and melancholy, sparking wonder at sisterly ingenuity while leaving scars of precarious exposure, like shadowing a phantom through fog-shrouded alleys. Moments of near capture etching deep. The pivotal ruse unfolds as destinies tease collision, a breaking point where illusions hold firm, shifting pursuits irrevocably, reminiscent of the mirror maze in The Lady from Shanghai, blending deception with desire. It ties to timeless queries. How do we reclaim heritage without losing our shadows, like echoes in a gallery of stolen souls? I felt the stakeout's chill seeping into my bones, the echo of a thwarted accusation in my ears, carrying the sisters' burdens as my own. Reader, haven't you tasted the adrenaline of hidden truths, scars of dual lives begging revelation? Through reverse reading, potential flaws like pacing compression, echoing fan complaints of rushed setups, reframe as deliberate tributes, condensing manga's episodic charm to fit modern brevity while amplifying tension. Outdated tropes, such as Asatani's overreach, might opaque for contemporary viewers, but they serve stylistic nods to 80s origins, enhancing nostalgic irony. Complexity in tech updates confuses purists, yet invites fresh engagement. I didn't like occasional animation shortcuts in backgrounds, but they spotlight character expressions. Balanced, the episodes with prevails over adaptive hiccups, crafting thrilling escapism. Episode for excels in thematic cunning, character depth and visual flair, though reboot tweaks slightly dilute vintage purity, succeeding as a riveting escalation, reigniting heist allure with narrative finesse. I anticipate its shadows entangling like lovers in the night. But as forged alibis fade into dawn's scrutiny, can you ignore the cat's eye whisper, sensing your own veiled quest stir? Watching isn't choice, it's the inevitable leap into your soul's nocturnal vault, where one deception beckons your awakening.